Hey there, this is Jay Herman on behalf of Mom and Pop Gems, and I'm conducting interviews with some amazing entrepreneurs, learning more about their backstory. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with Chilka. Chilka, you're going to have to tell our audience more about your name, but we want to know more about you as a person. We want to hear your story and what you got going on because you got so many hats. So tell our audience who you are and where you are and what you want to tell our audience today.
So my name's Chilka. My main job is a physician associate, work in asthma and allergy. I'm a wife, I'm a mommy. I do some event management on the side. I'm on a couple boards of the hospital. What else do I do? My most recent endeavor has been opening my own concierge IV hydration service, which I'm
Yeah.
doing. I'm in New Jersey, so I cater to North Jersey, Central Jersey, and New York, Connecticut area as well. So that's been my new baby and really my focus outside of my 9 to 5.
Wow. So you're not busy at all, is what you're telling
Not
us,
at
right?
all.
Maybe just a little.
Yeah.
So, your newest endeavor, what was the impetus? What made you decide to go in that direction?
So a lot of people are doing their own thing now and trying to be entrepreneurs and stuff. And I wanted to stay in a space where I knew that I could excel in. And I felt like, Botox and things like that are definitely down the future for me, but I wanted something that would be a little bit more therapeutic in the setting that we are in now with the pandemic. So I know when I just feel run down, all I want is some fluids in me to kind of perk me back up. And I'm not a good water drinker to begin with. So I'm
Mhm.
always dehydrated and I can tell when my skin gets dry or if I'm just like really fatigued. So, and I know when I was pregnant, that's all I really wanted was just IV bags of fluids just to kind of keep me going, keep me, from feeling sick and just overwhelmed and just perk me back up. So after talking to a couple of people and doing some research, I was like, well, this could be something, especially in this market where people don't want to leave their house and everybody's getting sick and things like that. So I did some more research and I thought it would be a great fit. And then I figured concierge would be the best bet
Mm.
because people are so busy, because people can't leave their house as much, because just time. Like people don't have time. So this way I can go to them wherever they are, office, home, work. If they wanted to have like a little IV party, they can like, call a bunch of their friends and kind of double task and multitask at the same time as getting hydrated.
Wow, that's very innovative. And what's been the response? What have your customers been saying?
It's been good. A lot of people know it as like the hangover bag, right? So it's essentially that, but my most popular has actually been the Myers cocktail, which is just a lot of vitamins and minerals that your body craves and needs. So people that have gotten it have definitely felt a difference. A lot of people are like, I've heard of this. I've always wanted to try it. I was always
Mm.
scared. So those people are also calling because of their friends that are doing it and seeing it. So word of mouth, posting on social media. So more and more people I think are more willing to try it because it's the
Mhm.
comfort of their own home.
That is very, very cool. I might have to talk to you a little bit later about that because that sounds good. I need to be more hydrated myself.
Yeah.
So, is this your first entrepreneurial experience? Tell me about some other things that you've done.
I've done event planning and event directing. I used to do more of like the beginning to end planning, but then because I do so much other things, I didn't have time to put in my all. So I started doing more day of coordination. I work really well under pressure, I found. So that was where I kind of wanted to be. So I did that for a little bit and then it just kind of became a hobby or like a favor to friends and family. So it wasn't really part of a business strategy at that point because I just didn't have time. But I'm always looking for the next thing. I already have a couple of things that I want to start doing in the next couple of years. I don't know. I feel like I have all the time in the world and I really don't, but I just can't stop trying to do new things and start projects with other people and just support people around me. So
My goodness. So, you have a very, very true entrepreneurial spirit. Where does that come from? Have you always been that way?
yeah, I think I have. I think my parents are both entrepreneurs. They both have been in the restaurant business and own their own
Mm.
businesses. When my dad got sick last year, just having like our family Zooms and going back into his history and learning more about how he was as a kid, things like that, like I realized that he was also somebody as a teenager, early 20s that had like six different hustles. And I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
get it now. I get it. So I think I definitely get it from my parents and their work ethic and, just trying to do the best you can and follow your dreams and do everything that makes you happy.
Oh, that is really good advice, and it's nice to have, that type of inspiration that's in the family, right? Because you get to see it up
Yeah.
close and personal, so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Outside of, being excited to do something on your own because you've had that inspiration, what do you think has been a big challenge for you in all of your entrepreneurial adventures, especially the one that you have going right now?
I mean, I think in general, and I talk about this with people that talk about wanting to open up restaurants and things like that because I've been in it since I was a child, right, with my parents. It's all about timing. And if you're going to have a brick and mortar, location, now with social media, it's a little bit easier to become an entrepreneur, I feel like, because it's all word of mouth. You can post everything. There's a lot of liking and sharing and, boosting. So it is definitely easier. I think this generation is all about being an entrepreneur,
Mm.
and there's definitely more outlets and ways to get to where you need to be. And it's all about the work you put in, understanding that the first year you're not going to see the profits and the vision that you had. But as long as you stick with it and keep working and keep pushing, you're going to get to where you want to be eventually.
Wow, that's great advice, to anyone, whether there's someone starting up or even someone who's been in business for a while, because it can get pretty stressful, especially when
Yeah.
you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur. Do you have other people that you work with, or is it you're just a lady boss?
Yeah. Right now it's just me. And I think once I do get more clients and a little bit busier, I may have to hire a nurse to come do some with me. But it's all about, putting in the work, putting in the time, networking. Like yesterday, for example, I went into Bloomingdale's just to get a perfume and I ended up leaving with six clients. So it's really about kind of just always promoting you like you
Mhm.
are the walking brand of your own company, right? So finding a way to fit it into every conversation you can, just promoting yourself like the minute you walk in somewhere, figuring out how to you can promote or help the person you're about to talk to.
Wow. Now what if you're someone who's afraid of talking or afraid of marketing? What advice would you give to someone who's, a little bit shy?
I think just so it's weird because I feel like I do get shy and I do kind of get in my head before I get to that position where all right, I'm going to bring it up. I think it's just having the confidence, hyping yourself up and knowing that you're promoting something that is important to you. Um,
Mhm.
so, making sure that even though you might be shy, this is ultimately your brand and your hobby, your love, your baby, your business. It's something that you want and it should be fun. So just go out there and have fun and what's the worst that can happen? They can say, "No, I'm good."
Right. No, that's great advice. Again, for anyone who's starting or, who've been in business for a while, those are great reminders. So in running your business, what's the day in the life? What does that look like for you when you take an order or when you're with a client? What does that look like?
So I book a lot of it is after work, after my main job, and on weekends. That's primarily when people want to schedule because they're also working and things like that. So weeknights, weekends are usually the most popular times. And basically, they text me, call me, DM me. I don't really have an official way of getting to me because it's just me right now. So however you want to get to me, you can. And I'm pretty good at responding fairly quickly and getting people in almost immediately. Because again, it is concierge. You don't want to have to wait for so long to get the flows that you want. And then once we're scheduled, you fill out the consents and I come to you. The whole process takes about an hour from beginning to end. We get some vitals, I set you up, you pick where you want to sit, I hook you up and just you get hydrated and then I get
Easy peasy.
yeah, it really is. And then you find, you start feeling the effects. You can feel it within hours to a day or two. And then I try to follow up with everybody that day and the day after. And then I recommend getting them every 4 to 6 weeks. So following up with everybody, seeing how they feel, see if they want to try different bags or do the same bag. I do now have membership programs as well, so there is discounts available. I think so that's really just engagement with my clients.
Very, very cool. So let's see, you got your busy 9 to 5, you're a lady boss, and you're a mom. How do
Yeah,
you balance it all?
I don't no idea. No idea. If I don't write things down, I don't remember. My kids are like, "You're always on your phone." I'm like, "Because I'm doing 6,000 things, and it's usually not just to be on my phone, it's usually because I'm actually physically doing something for somebody or something."
Mhm, mhm. So if you had a wish list of how you would set up your day and how you would balance things, what would that look like? Would it be like massages and pedicures? Like, what would make up that perfect balance for you?
So, I feel like even though I sounds like I like, never sleep or have 0 time, the way my 9 to 5 is, it's not really a 9 to 5. I do
Mhm,
have flexibility in my schedule. So, like, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, I do work half days, and so I can schedule a lot of things. Tuesday mornings, I call, like, my me day because I can drop the kids off Tuesday morning, and then I have, like, 4 hours to myself to do whatever I need to do. So that's usually when I do, like, doctor's appointments or massages or facials and, I get my me time in for sure. And it's usually my Tuesdays.
Well, that's good. But now also, again, thinking like an entrepreneur, what are your short-term goals? What are you hoping to accomplish with this new business of yours?
So I definitely want to build the brand a little bit more. I want to definitely get more clients. I want to be able to be accessible to those people that are not terrified but scared to try it, don't know much about it. So a lot of times I am constantly trying to network with gyms and spas and just businesses because now everybody's all into wellness and having wellness days and things like that for their employees.
Mhm,
So this is a great opportunity for me to come in to corporate offices or to locations and just kind of get 6 to 8 employees done at a time and offer, monthly wellness days for. So it's a lot of just, networking and trying to figure out where the best market is and getting the
mhm.
word out.
And so far, what's been your best source of marketing? Because you mentioned social media, but then also being in person and talking with people. But for you, what's been the best way that people have been able to get in contact with you?
The people that I know, when I've done treatments for people that I know, or even people that I don't know that I've called, their word of mouth. Right? Because
Nice.
people, again, this is fairly new to people,
Mhm,
and a lot of people, again, just know it as, like, the hangover bag or, things like that, so a lot of people don't really know the benefits of the vitamin drips. It is becoming more popular now, but a lot of people still have questions, so they're not gonna just go ahead and be like, "Alright, go ahead and stick and inject,"
sign me up.
whatever. So, I think word of mouth has definitely been a huge thing, and people sharing their experience. I think that's been the biggest help in starting up this.
Mhm. Wow. It's interesting. I've talked to other entrepreneurs, within the last couple years when I asked them, so what's been the biggest hurdle? And for most people, a hurdle has been the pandemic and keeping clients and finding clients and maintaining those relationships. So I think it goes without saying that the pandemic has been a hurdle. Has it been a hurdle for you, or is there something else that you've had to
Um,
overcome with?
the only time it's been a hurdle is if somebody gets exposure or contact, right? So I'm fortunate where this drip can still be given to you when you're sick. It actually is recommended when you're
Mm,
sick. So I have had clients that have either had COVID or just got over COVID that have called for just, kind of rejuvenation of the system
mm.
and a boost to the immune system. So the pandemic has kind of helped because, again, I'm going to you, so you don't have to go anywhere. So people that are, scared to go
Ah,
leave their house, like, I'm coming to you. I'm fully vaccinated and boosted. If they asked me to test myself, I'm more than willing to do that. So there's a lot of trust and honesty. And I think me being in the health profession and, being licensed and things like that, like, there's more trust there as well.
mhm,
So the pandemic hasn't, I mean, I only started 6, 7 months ago. So it hasn't been through the pandemic that I started. But even so, there's still people that are like, I have all these other chronic things. I don't want to leave my house. So it's hasn't really hindered me too much, except for when clients had to cancel because they had exposures or were
mm.
sick at the time. So
Well, that's really fortunate. There are some people that they've had to completely stop with a new business opportunity because of the pandemic, but sounds like that hasn't been your case. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
Mhm.
So going forward, say in the next year or two, I know you want to expand your brand, obviously, but do you see that this could be a franchise opportunity for you?
Somebody asked me that about a couple months ago. I think it can. I think I will be very picky with where I franchise and who I pull in, because at the end of the day, it is my brand, and it is, goes under all my name, like my stuff. So I definitely would be pickier with who I let kind of join, and ultimately I would set everything up and they just kind of handle that area. So it's almost like a pharmacy rep or just a rep of the brand, and they
Mhm.
handle like South Jersey or Maryland, or wherever I kind of set up. So I definitely, yeah, I definitely down the my long-term goal is to expand everywhere, especially
Mhm.
because there's concierge. It's easy to do, but for right now I definitely want to focus on this area, the tri-state area, and helping the people here.
Very cool. What's the one thing that you enjoy most about what you're doing?
I think helping people feel the difference after they have the drip, and just meeting, like, I meet so many interesting people. And again, 5 minutes while you're getting your hydration on, so we have to talk. So it's what I mean, like it's meeting all these different types of people that I would not typically meet on my regular day to day. And I think that that's something that I enjoy with my full time job too, just meeting these patients. And I do a lot of food oral immunotherapy where I help kids outgrow or get rid of their food allergies. So
Mhm.
I become invested in these kids' lives and the families' lives, and I just the interaction is huge for me.
Wow. What's the one thing you enjoy the least?
Just like the lulls in between clients, I think, like when I can go weeks without having any clients, and I kind of like, ugh, this kind of sucks. Like, what can I do? But it just kind of motivates me to do more, right? So I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, I got to post some more. I got to remind people that I'm here. I got to kind of not be annoying, but be annoying and call the clients and be like, "Hey, you're due for your next drip. Like, let's schedule, let's get it in." And a lot of times it's, oh my God, I keep forgetting. Like, I'm so busy, So just kind of, it kind of reminds me that I can't just depend on outside forces to
Mhm.
just come to me. I have to still constantly put in the work, even on the weeks that I don't get the clients. Um, even, even if I'm like, I've already posted enough, I've already reached out enough, like it's still on me to kind of be proactive.
Wow, I love that. You are definitely an inspiration in that way. So, yes, it's very important, I think, for entrepreneurs, whether they've been in the business for a while or they're just getting started, to stay inspired and to stay busy and to keep the hustle. And it sounds like that's something that you're very adept at doing. And I thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else that you want our audience to know about you and your business?
Give it a try. And for people that are just, trying to figure out what they want to do, this is the time. This is the time to become your own entrepreneur, follow that hobby, turn that hobby into a hustle, come up with the next hustle, make each hustle pay for the other hustle, and just build your own, wealth and generational wealth. And the future is yours. Like, just make it
Wow.
happen.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy
You know?
schedule, and we'll make sure that everyone knows how to contact you. But just very quickly, if I want to get more information, where should I go to find out more?
So you can follow me on Instagram at riavviamo, or you can go to riavviamo.com. It's Riavviamo. And it's Italian for let's restart and let's reboost and just get hydrated and healthy.
I love that. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time with us.
Thank you so much.